Hey gang, welcome back to the channel and thanks for tuning in and spending a couple minutes of your day watching the video. Much appreciated. And today I'm going to give you guys some tips, some advice, and sort of bring back one of my old all-time favorite baits, and that's the old lizard. And lizards have been catching fish ever since I've been bass fishing. They're still as good now as they've ever been, except most people don't fish them anymore because there's so many different options. So I'm going to give you guys some of my secrets I learned about lizard fishing, and I think it'll help you guys catch some fish all year long on them. But real quick, just before we get started, just do the Monday housekeeping tips. I just want to remind you guys, if you haven't had a chance yet, go by over at fishthemoment.com. Check out our new lake map breakdowns. Johnny and I got a bunch of good fall map breakdowns out there in the catalog. Just go to the lake map breakdown section, fishthemoment.com, and check them out. Also, if you guys hadn't had a chance, go by and check out the Baitworks online tackle store. I'll include the link in the description. And two other things, if you guys are interested in becoming members of my channel, just go on my main YouTube page, click on the About section, click on Intuitive Memberships, and it gives you all the info to become a member. It's a great way to support the channel. If you like what I'm doing here to help out a little bit more, extra videos every week not seen by the public, my personal access to my email address for your fishing questions, and it's a great way to support the channel. And finally, if you guys are interested in an on-the-water lesson with me, go to my Instagram page, Block It Randy, and shoot me a private message there. As you guys know, my personal Facebook page got hacked. It's goofing up all my pages, and I'm in the process of getting that squared away. I'll let you guys know when that gets squared away. Okay, let's talk about lizards a little bit. Lizards are one of the first, when I first started fishing plastic worms back in the 70s, my dad got me using the old flip tail plastic worm. I mean, that was like, I can still smell them in my memory banks right now. The flip tail plastic worms Dad had laid out in his metal tackle box. It was purple flip tail worms, and that was a big deal throughout the 70s. But in the late 70s, I started using different worms. Like I remember the Norman Snatrix was one of my first ones that I used. The jelly worms. Roland Martin had one called a vibratel worm I used a lot. But after that, lizards are one of the first things I started using, and still use them a lot. And if you guys, everybody knows what a lizard, it just looks like it's just a, real simple soft plastic bait with two curly legs and a curly tail. It was really the first creature bait that was ever developed, that actually did more than was just a straight tail plastic worm. But the lizard, the thing about it is, ever since the advent of soft plastic technology came out there, and you started having other creature baits like the Zoom brush hog, the sweet beaver, sweet beaver, all the other variations of creature baits that are out there. There's so many now, guys, you can't even keep up with them. The lizard just sort of took a back seat to that. But I'm telling you guys right now, there's 3 times a year that I like to fish the lizard, which is most of the year, and that's the spring, the summer, and fall. It's a great fall time lure. One of my favorite ways to fish a lizard in the fall time of year is fishing boat docks with it. I'll just take the green pumpkin like this, put it on a 3/16 ounce sinker, and it's a great bait to flip in and around boat docks. I don't care if it's piling boat docks or floating boat docks, if they got brush or clean or whatever. A lizard is a great bait to fish around them. And I fish all 4 sizes, or 3 sizes. Zoom makes a 4-inch, a 6-inch, and this is an 8-inch model. And I've caught them on all 4. If I'm fishing a tough fishery that's hard to get bites in, a lot of times I'll take that little 4-inch Zoom lizard, put it on an 1/8 ounce sinker, and I can skip it under those docks. And then most of the other time I'm using the 6 and the 8-inch lizard in the green pumpkin. Now, one of my favorite ways to fish it is if you're in a stained water fishery that has water visibility of like less than 1.5 feet. Guys, I'm telling you right now, this black lizard is a deadly bait in the fall time of year for flipping and pitching in shallow water cover. It doesn't matter what cover it is. It can be grass, it can be laydowns, docks, stumps, whatever like that. A black lizard in dirty water is a killer deal. And everybody knows how well like a black beaver or a black tube works. Black lizard is just as good on there. Again, most of the time I'm fishing it on a pretty light sinker. I found out from fishing lizards a lot over the past, I don't go, very seldom will I go above a 3/16 ounce sinker. I prefer an 1/8 ounce to a 3/16 ounce sinker, because that really gives those legs a chance to work. These legs on like the Zoom lizard or most lizards, it doesn't take much to get them to turn. You know, some creature baits that have appendages on them, it takes a fairly heavy bait to get them to turn. But like on the Zoom, it's a pretty light, fine plastic, and it doesn't take much to get these legs wiggling on there. And another thing that I found about the lizard, especially in the fall time of the year, is that it works really good in extremely shallow water. Like if you're fishing, most of the time I like to fish a lizard in less than 3 foot of water this time of year. There's something about the profile of the bait and the way it works and the action that it works really good in shallow water, different visibilities. Most of the time I'm pitching and flipping it like on 17-pound test Seagar and Vizex line. May go up to 20 if the water's really dirty and the cover's heavy. And another thing that it works really good in is if you've got any type of flooded cover that this time of year, it works real good. And also it works real good as like a swim jig. You can take the thing, pitch it in and around that shallow cover, and just swim it just under the surface, just like you would a swim jig, and you can catch a lot of fish like that on it. So guys, give them a try. Don't underestimate them. I'm telling you, just the old school lizard is a bass catching bait, catches quality bass. In my opinion, it works as good as any creature bait out there most of the time. And it just doesn't, bass don't see it as much. I mean, some people do. A lot of people still throw a lizard on a Carolina rig, but you don't see people Texas rigging it like they used to in the past. So give it a try. I promise you guys will get some bites on the thing, and let me know how it goes. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Again, much appreciated. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't, and we'll see y'all later.